And so I just discovered that I can listen to Amazon Music on my phone. I suppose I would have always known it, but I never bothered. It's quite nice. It doesn't sound very good with these earphones, though. I think you would have to have the proper headphone type. I don't know how much they cost. And then, whenever you wear earphones or headphones, you don't really look your best, I don't think. And looking your best is important. It depends. Maybe some people can pull it off. There was a couple at the pub, and they were very well dressed, I thought. The gentleman would have been about 29. I don't know, maybe younger. And his lady friend would have been at least 10 years north of that. An attractive lady, but really quite old in relation to him. He was quite the Chad, he was a good-looking man. So whether she was just that night, but he had a kind of a retiring air. So I thought that they were probably, a couple, a real couple. Not that it's any of my business, for heaven's sake, but they were both well dressed, but he in particular, and he was dressed with a kind of, I guess, signatures, designer stuff, coordinated designer stuff. That stuff is designed to look good together. There's no question of it. And designer tags. It's very effective signaling as well, because a lot of our acting concerns signaling. You're signaling wealth. Not a bad thing to signal, I suppose, depending on what you want to achieve, who you want to attract, I suppose. Some people take pride in signaling poverty, and I don't think they attract anything particularly good by that tactic. I think you have to perhaps enter the stage in a different guise in different moments in these matters. But I was thinking as I sit out here, and I'd left the door open, which I often do, and I don't conserve the heat energy in my house all that jealously, because I like to have ample ventilation, and I enjoy a change in the temperature. But some people would say that's wasteful, but I just like it. And I never really worry about how much the energy usage will cost, because I know I can afford it. So far, I've been able to afford it all the time. Now, the margin has been shrinking, I think, and so hopefully my move to Blackpool will resolve any discrepancies, and I'll probably put a wood burner in or something, some more effective form of heating, or more pleasant. But I don't worry about those things. I just put it on, and if leaving the doors open means that my electric oven will immediately come on because it's trying to keep up, or any other electrical appliance, and the heating then and the pump will start up, and it'll be a whole business of gas consumption and electricity consumption. I don't care. That's what those things are designed to do, and it's about time they manned up and did it. I haven't got any time for this low temperature ecological mode nonsense. I've got heating and I intend to use it. I mean, I enjoy a heated environment. I think everybody does. And I was contrasting my, standpoint, and I think it's probably a standpoint that many will share, with the standpoint of the witch when I used to frequent her, because she was, as she had stopped paying for her utilities, she told me one time that she uses the heating very freely in the house and doesn't worry about it, as I suppose would be logical to presume. But the other way of, not worrying about it is to have enough money to pay for it. That's the other way. Because the trouble is, you see, that if you're worried about something like that, and if you allow it to bother you the way I would see it, then you're ceding a degree of control, of your autonomy. This is something that you can easily, control. Obviously, each cloth is cut, to the figure, as it were. We're not all going to live in a great mansion, and some will just live in a single room, but our accommodation will be adequate and warm, surely. But you see, the witch in that way, she was bound, she was therefore putting herself at fault and somehow having to be at war with a third party or several third parties, and receiving countless final demands and letters and then visits and bailiffs and all the rest of this. So in bondage, you see, opposition to something like that. You thought, why should I engage in such a futile pursuit? It's far easier just to, to use what I want and pay for it. And if my money were to go down more, obviously I'd have to, be more frugal. I suppose I might be a little bit, but I don't like being that. I'd sooner just do as I please. And it's just such a different philosophical approach, isn't it? Because I think a lot of men, we do want to do the thing ourselves. There's a certain pride to it. That's why men don't ask directions, quite a known thing, because we have to try to learn from our environment, because we have a protection role. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. And it's atavistic. It's always been so. And it's a goodly thing. But of course, I'm sure anybody with their wits about them will know there is a time and a place when directions should be asked, rightly asked as well. When one's lost, there's no point in concealing the matter beyond a certain point, I suppose. God bless.